Alright, what is up everybody? This is Nakin and welcome to my video on picking your weapon that will sync well with your role and your power set. I'll be covering all roles, so stay tuned. The first in my category is DPS. The recent revamp or the rebalance has changed quite a lot on how the weapons were utilized, so not so much for other support classes but quite a lot on DPS wise. Now there is no longer an obvious choice for DPS as it used to be prior to the rebalance, when one hand was the flavor of the month as a DPS weapon, as it was able to dish out highest damage in shortest amount of time. But that's no longer the case, as now the power sets affect your weapons as well. If you're a class that specializes in casting damage over time as fast as possible in between weapon combos, for example electricity, you would want to consider choosing a weapon that favors speed with a decent damage over a weapon that favors high damage with slower pace. But if you're nature, a class that also specializes in spreading damage over time, a weapon with damage over speed is preferred. Why, you might ask? Why, it's quite simple. The reason why I recommend a weapon that favors damage over speed is because as nature, once you focus all your damage over time on a single target and spread it, then you are pretty much set, as you really don't have to recast all your damage over time like electricity, as you can keep spreading poison using one power while doing damage with a damage over speed weapon. The damage over time will be up damaging mobs while you are getting off your weapon combos. If you're a class that specializes in burst damage, then you could go either way, but if you're a class that specializes in both the burst and utilizing the damage over time in between, then I would recommend a weapon that favors speed over damage. Your playstyle is really important as well, so that will affect your outcome. So the main thing which you gotta remember is that be comfortable with what you are playing with right now, and try out all the weapons as well and see what works best for you and your power set. Now moving on to the troll class. Now the weapon choice for this is pretty obvious, as you gotta pick a weapon that specializes in hit counters. What that basically means is a weapon that is able to get many hits as fast as possible in the shortest amount of time. Right now the preferred weapons are hand blasters and the pistol and the bow. You could also pick a melee weapon for trolls. That really doesn't matter if you're pretty good at survivability, but hand blasters and pistols and the bow are the weapons that regens and gives out hit counters as fast as possible in the shortest amount of time. As for heals, it really doesn't matter which weapon you pick. Most healers pick a ranged weapon, so yeah, that's really a personal choice. Now moving on to the tanks. Now tanks, it really doesn't matter which weapon you pick, as it's the powers which you use that gain aggro and not the weapons. So yeah, you really don't have to worry about choosing a weapon for tanks. Now I almost forgot to mention this, but light is the only DPS power role that hasn't been affected from this weapon rebalance, as it doesn't use much of weapon combos but more of the light power combos instead. Alright, and enjoy the rest of the video of me raiding Subcon as a wolf DPS farm, which is pretty much the highlight of the video. And thanks for watching guys, and don't forget to comment on the video, rate the video and subscribe if you want to see more videos. Until then, stay tuned.